It's Wellness Wednesday. Yes. It's also a wealthy Wednesday for some of us. For some of us that know how to checkpoint our week. Yeah. See, if you don't know when to checkpoint your week, you'll just keep going and going and going. Remember the Energizer Bunny? It just kept going and going and going. And you aren't an Energizer Bunny, are you? No, you aren't. You're a human being, especially if you watching this video, especially if you didn't hit that subscribe button, especially if you didn't save this video for another time you may need it. You're a human being. Okay? Listen, it's human for you to defend yourself. It's human, okay, for you to have proactive measures that align with your longevity. That's human. That'll be defending yourself. Okay? The greatest way you can defend yourself is to checkpoint your week. Okay? Have checkpoints in life in general. Yeah. By checkpointing your week, you get to come to certain realizations and understandings about yourself. You get to better manage, maneuver, okay, and utilize your energy. Okay? That's one of the benefits of checkpointing your week. Yeah. We do those on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is ruled by Mercury. I like to remember. And I like to also remember that Mercury is the house of communication. So we're going to commune and be reminded by the planets above us to commune. Okay? But we're not just communing in general. We communing with ourselves. We communing, okay, with our households. We taking time to be considerate, okay, to our emotions, our spiritual well-being as we commune. As above, so below. As without, so within. The more you commune with yourself, the more it'll be easier for you to commune with the outside world. Yep, hope that makes sense. Yeah, and speaking on the outside world, yes, it looks like the current administration is, well, it looked like they talking about segregation first and foremost. They talking about a few things alongside the tariff wars and right alongside inflation, alongside rumors of a recession. They've been speaking on a few things, okay? But this segregation concept has got a lot of our attention, right? And as it's being passed on a federal level, a lot of people are thinking, how could this affect us, okay, on a public level, okay? And I want to just take some time out to speak on segregation and allow us to understand that the world is already segregated. It didn't take the current administration to segregate you to pass new laws, okay, that brought back segregation as you know it. Segregation has already been around. Segregation is still around. And as far as we know, segregation isn't going anywhere. Okay? Segregation is a powerful tool used to control people. Why is this? Because if I separate people from people, okay, I also separate people from solutions. I also separate people from information. I also separate people, okay, from sources and resources. We know it's a difference, right? See, it's one thing to be a source or to have a source or to reach a source. It's a whole nother universe to be a resource and to have resources. Okay? Being the source means that you are a creator of said resource. Okay? And being a resource means that you are a mediator for sources. Okay? So it's imperative for us to understand why segregation has already been a thing and how it has been used, right, to best govern people and in the ways the governing systems think we should be governed. Okay? They best think we should be governed in separate households, right? For the lack of better terms. But nevertheless, okay, segregation has already been around. It's already been a tool that's been used by the governing systems all over the world. Okay? They use this in forms of racism. They use this in forms of introvertism. They use this in forms of different caste systems as well as different class systems. Segregation has already been around. Okay? Segregation exists on the outside because segregation exists on the inside. You can only separate people from people that are first separate from themselves. I'm going to say it again. You can only segregate people from people that are first already separate from themselves. People that aren't separate and divided in the inside. It'll be hard for you to divide them on the outside. Does this make sense? Okay. So they've been doing a lot of work to separate you on the inside. Yes, separating you on the inside was indeed a huge part of segregation, a huge part of the governing system. Okay? And we separate in so many ways. We so segregated to the point it's almost a norm. Yes, it's a normal now for male and females to be at some subconscious odds, right? When we really should be working together in every way, shape, and form. It's a normal, okay, in certain sectors of business for people to actually not work together, okay, because they may wear their competitive sleeves, okay, too tight, okay. It's become a norm to be separate and not a norm to be together, okay. And divided does a people fall, divided does a business fall. So I say it again, you can only separate people that are first separated from themselves, okay. So as we entertain the idea of segregation, we must first entertain the idea of separatism as it exists within us. What are we separate from? Okay. And if we aren't ready to admit the segregation that exists inside of us, so maybe we don't realize it. Okay. Let's take some time to view this last week. Let's view this last month. How have I engaged with people? Okay. Let's begin from our loved ones. Okay, what is the relationship like with my loved ones? Do I often speak to my loved ones? Okay, do I often, would I rather go see my loved ones or would I rather go call my loved ones? This matters. Okay, because via instant gratification, separatism can exist longer. Yes, listen, you don't go see people as often as you should because you can just FaceTime them, you can just call them. So look how long the window, okay, the window that is there for you not to see them, look how long that stays open because of the opportunities that instant gratification grants you. You are instantly gratified. You're feeling they wanted to see them. I mean, okay. So, nevertheless, we are separate in many different ways, many different ways. Okay. And this translate, okay, and not only in the inside, but this retranslate onto the outside. Yes, whatever you're going through on the inside will translate on the outside. If you separate in the inside, you're not going to mind not seeing people. You're not going to mind being introverted. Okay? You're not going to mind not doing business with the people you should be doing business with. You're not going to mind, okay, just taking as much time as you can, okay, to cultivate your vision or your dream, because that may involve you, okay, building relationships and conversing and actually dealing with people. You may not mind all that time because you're an introvert. You may not mind all that time because you're separate within yourself. Look at the way we cultivating relationships. How are these relationships oriented? Is the biggest benefit of the relationship is when you have time alone? I'm gonna say it again. Is the biggest benefit of the relationship is when you have time alone? The bubble bath, the candle, the cigar, okay? Is your alone time, okay? being in a marriage, being in a relationship, is that your greatest moments in the relationship? Okay? These are different seeds of introvertism and separatism that is bleeding into our relationships. Okay? As above, so below, as without, so within. So the way you're treating yourself in the inside, you're also treating others. Okay? We must understand segregation as it is and not the way we want to make it. Okay? So yeah, the president, okay, they wish to pass a new law in Congress that brings back segregation. Understand that it never went anywhere. We must understand how to combat segregation since it is indeed a real thing. Okay? First, after looking into our own lives and seeing if we can spot any segregation or separatism, okay, let's now address it by doing the obvious. Okay? Communing. Yeah. Communing is going to be your gateway back in to community, back in to the fold of humanity. Communing. We should make this a practice. Okay? You should make it a practice to speaking to people, especially having a brand to represent, especially having a business to represent. You should make it a habit. Okay? You should also make, okay, connecting and reconnecting a habit. Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised where those cold emails will get you. Yeah, sometimes you may not have seen a client in 2, 3 years. Send out those cold emails. Okay, send a, hey, how are you doing? Right? It's been a while. Right? We're not selling anything. It's been a while. Just a little check in. Maybe it's maybe it's Wellness Wednesday where you are. Right? Nevertheless, reconnections. Okay, we should build this a good routine in connecting as well as reconnecting. If you're a good connector, you're a great reconnector. Yeah, that's a fact. Okay, so separatism, understanding it as it is, segregation, understanding it as it is, understanding divide and conquer is the name of the game. Okay, divide and conquer is the name of the game. I'm gonna take a few moments to break for a second. Nevertheless, hopefully you enjoying your experience here on this Wellness Wednesday. Hopefully you practice in unity and not separatism. Unity within now. It's easier to practice unity on the outside when you're already united on the inside. What do I mean by being united on the inside? Meaning your mind and your spirit are in agreement with the things that you want. Sometimes our mind and our spirit may be at odds. This may cause emotional upheavals we may not understand. Okay? Cultivating a certain sense of self awareness through the channels of honesty will help us come to those conclusions. Am I divided in the inside? Does my mind not agree with my spirit? Yes, we're speaking on segregation. We're speaking on separatism and how it can translate on the outside indeed. Okay? Nevertheless, you take some time out this week, okay, to make sure you include in your routine a checkpoint. Taking time out to check in with yourself and the well-being of your brand, your business, your family, your household. This matters. Yes, this matters. Okay. Segregation is a real thing. Separation is a real thing. Separatism is a real thing. Know how not to be divided within so you're not divided on the outside. You can't divide people that are united on their front. They are united on the inside. You can't divide people that are already whole. You see, when you united, you whole already. Okay? So, as we move forward through these uncertain times, and there's indeed some uncertain times coming, but it's definitely some good times wrapped around them uncertain times. Okay? I know we're hearing rumors of the recession. They're trying to scare us into a recession. Okay? We've been in a recession for a little while. So what goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. We've been in a recession for a while. It's been bad for a little while. We don't need nobody to tell us it's getting worse. I don't want y'all to think. I don't want y'all to think because you may be biased politically, right? I don't want you to think that because the rumors speak on a recession that you're not going to benefit in whatever times it may be in. Okay? I don't want you to believe this. Don't believe anything. Okay? You believe what you know. You believe what you feel. And sometimes you even got to challenge that. Okay? Why I say this? Because as we look into what's happening into the stocks, what's happening the bond market, what's happening in the crypto market, what's happening in trades in general, okay? In the wake of these trade wars, as we notice what's going on, we also see, okay, we also see inflation at an all-time high. We also see the Feds being pressured, okay, into lowering interest rates. Because that's the point. The point is, if the interest rates aren't lowered, we enter a recession. Okay? Meaning things stay high. When the interest rates get lowered, the prices drop. Things become more balanced. What I'm saying is, with all of this turbulence in the stocks and the crypto, what would you do if it was your country? Would you let it go into a recession? Actually, look at past times. See what already happened. You didn't even have to guess. When this happens, because this moments like this already happen, when this happens, okay, there's a bailout. You heard that word before. There's a bailout. And the Fed's finna lower the interest rate so America can borrow more money, go into a deeper debt. That's what you would want. Debt make money. Imagine that, just eliminating the debt. You need to stop trying to eliminate debt and start respecting it. I respect debt. You learn that. You learn that along the way. Why do I respect debt? Debt mean I have something, first and foremost. My debt's up my net worth. A good portion of your net worth should be your debts, actually. If you didn't know. Okay? So, nevertheless, interest rates go down, prices go down, right? And what do that mean? Stocks go up, bonds go up, numbers go up. The money is there. It's just the way you navigate what's going on, meaning a lot of us lost a lot trading, but you didn't lose anything if you was an investor. If you trade, you lost a lot. But if you was an investor, you didn't lose anything. Why? Because the trader, your day traders, your week traders, your month traders, y'all was here for a small gain anyway. The investor was here for the long range. You just imagine 10 years. If I say me and you going somewhere for 10 years, it's a lot of things finna happen. Okay? What if I tell you on the second year we finna argue? In the third year, I don't know. We bought a boat. I accidentally put a hole in it. That's not even going to matter at the 10 years, is it? It's not even going to matter. Right? So that's how I view investments. All this what's going on, not even going to matter. You think long range. You think any of these companies going anywhere? The largest ones. You think they're going somewhere seriously in the next 25, 50 years? You think Apple? Let's look at the top. Let's look at that SAP. Right? You think Apple, right? Nvidia. You think of these companies are going somewhere? Amazon? No, they're not. Don't fool yourself. So I'm saying that to say, if you in for the long haul, then you're going to see the drop, which was already expected to happen, which would create a great buying environment. If everything expensive, how you going to buy? You can buy a lot more stocks if they was $1. You can buy a lot more stocks if they 100. Tesla dropped to 100. You want them to drop to 100. You want them to drop to 90. I'm trying to. You want him to drop to 45. He ain't going nowhere. He gonna be around. Nobody became the richest person in the world and not been around for another 50 years at the least. Okay? Don't count on people's downfalls. Nevertheless, he go down to 45. That's where we want him at. From 450 in November, we want Tesla at 45. That's 10%. Yes. And we're going to buy it up. And you know what that means? That means we got a lot of plateaus to hit on our way, not only just to that 450 again, but above. Because if you can touch it, you can touch it again, can't you? How many people ever won and lost and lost and lost and won and lost and lost and won again? Yeah, the wins will teach you. The losses will teach you. Yep, it'll teach you what you're capable of. Yeah. It'll teach you more about yourself. You'll cultivate a certain sense of confidence and bravery and love for yourself and respect through them losses. So, nevertheless, if you can win again. I promise you that. You speaking to a winner, big winner, finna win again, right? Why? Not only because I've lost plenty times, but I know how to lose. Do you? Do you know how to lose? Or are you a sore loser? Or you a sore loser? Yeah, had the sport of life got you down. That's what this Wellness Wednesday is for. We checkpointing. Don't you be divided. Look at you being divided again. Okay? Separatism is what they taught the world to practice. Don't you separate yourself from your feelings. Don't you separate, okay, from your thoughts and your intentions from your emotions. They belong together. You're going to need these two together. Okay, look at the way my thoughts and my emotions and my body all working together. I need them in unison. Okay. Nevertheless, I want you to look within yourself today and then the rest of the week. Okay. And just ask yourself, where am I divided? Where am I divided? Yeah. Do my thoughts align with my emotions? I know it sounds like a simple questions, but ask yourself, do my thoughts align with my emotions? Or else we divide it. And divided, you shall be conquered every time. This I promise you. Okay? I teach different ways for us to make sure we balance in these ways. Feel free to join any of my workshops. Click the links. Okay, you know how to find me. But nevertheless, you have your homework. Make sure that you're not divided. Ask self. Ask self. What is my intention? What is my intention? Do my emotions match my intentions? Do they? Okay. Do they? A lot of you have big endeavors. A lot of you have big dreams. A lot of you have large visions? Do you have a large energy to go with it? Or you got little energy with a big dream? That little energy, big dream stuff is not going to do anything but get your feelings hurt. Let's minimize the dream to something more realistic. Turn it into an objective first. Okay? Because that practice isn't good for you. That practice isn't good for you. The practice of having big dreams and little energy isn't good for you. Let's just say you meet a big energy. Yeah, life is about networking. I'm a big energy. Let's just say you meet me. Yeah. What's better than living examples? Listen, when you meet big energies, what is big energy going to demand from you? Expect from you? They ain't going to demand it. They're going to expect because you came to big energy. I just wanted you to understand the practice of having large visions and little energy isn't going to work. Okay? Isn't going to work. You're going to run into headaches in relationships and in business, but more importantly, within your own life. And making that a consistent habit, people around you know this. They know you big dream, little energy person. Yeah, you speak a certain type of way. It's big dream, little energy, ebonics. Don't embarrass yourself. Minimize the dream into an objective or turn the energy up, please. That ain't too difficult, is it? You done got the equation. That ain't too difficult. Turn the energy up. It's possible. Okay? How is it possible? We reset our emotions. You can reset them. Okay? We can reset our mind if there's ever inconsistencies in our emotions and our mind. We can reset them. Okay? Be of no dismay. Life then gave you every cure that there ever will be and needed inside of you. Yup. Yup. Sometimes we may not know how to reach the certain depths of ourself. Okay? That's what we have art for. That's what we have poetry for. That's what we have, okay? All the different forms of art, such as music, okay? Such as any ensemble of words to me is art. Speaking is an art. Teaching is an art. Leading is indeed an art. That's what we have these things for, though, that we can better understand ourselves. That's what they for. Okay? That's what they for. Right? So this week, maybe incorporating some art may help in every fashion and actually experiencing. Okay? Because through the channels of art, you get to experience yourself. Yep. Incorporate some art in every way. Incorporate some more art in your business. In fact, be artistic. Be more artistic in your business. Okay? Add a little style with everything you do. Have some style. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Have some style. Incorporate some style in your sales. Incorporate some style in your posting. Incorporate some style in your emails. Incorporate some style in your content. Incorporate some style. Why not? It's art. If it don't benefit you, it at the least is going to benefit another. Okay? It's Wellness Wednesday, and every Wednesday, okay, at 9 p.m., this is our checkpoint. Okay? If you can't make it, for some reason the world may be ending that day and you may not be able to make it. And after 9 p.m., you may find out that the world not ending. Okay? You make sure that you still checkpoint in your day, that you spent that day with this reminder. Okay? That is Wednesday, and I finna commune with myself. Yes. I finna commune with myself that I can have a better relationship on the outside with my brand, with my business, with my family, and everything in life that matters. Okay? I want to Take some time out to breathe. Breathe. Okay? I want to breathe in some wealth, some wellness, okay? On this day of communion, on this Wednesday, ruled by Mercury. Yeah. Let's go ahead and breathe some of this wellness in. Yes, relax yourself. Relax yourself. Yeah. When you breathe, listen to yourself. Listen to your breath specifically. Put your tongue behind your two front teeth. That's ujjayi breathing. Okay? Click on the meditation playlist if you aren't familiar with ujjayi breathing. Tongue behind your two front teeth. Close your mouth. Relax your jaw so you can hear yourself breathe. Yes, try it out. Go ahead and practice. Hear yourself breathe. Okay? Tight lip. Mouth is closed. Just like this. And let's breathe. But as we breathe, let's listen. We only taking 3 deep breaths. Let's listen to our breath. Behind our breath is going to be the echoes of the insides of our body. Let's listen. Y'all ready? Okay. In life, exhale. In life, exhale. In life, exhale. Come to normal breathing. How was that? You should still hear the echoes of the inside of you. Yes. Whenever you find yourself troubled or in an uncertain spirit or emotion, take some time out. Remember this, okay? Remember how to commune with yourself. Breathe. It only takes 3 deep breaths. We did that slow, but you can do it as fast as you need to do it. Maybe you about to walk through a door, okay? And on the other side of that door, it may be some things that may be challenging. We need to breathe. We need to make sure our well-being is up to par before we go into the office and giving off a nervousness, before we go picking up a phone and texting nervousness. Did you know you can send those energies through text, through phone calls? You're an electrical being. This is an electrical device. Do the math. Be sensitive. Cultivate that sense of self-awareness. Okay? And if you have any trouble, I'll show you. Okay, it'll be my pleasure. I'm YahlilLakwame. Okay, this is Let's Get Rich. This is a safe space and an environment for leaders, first and foremost. Y'all welcome here. Y'all belong here. Entrepreneurs and responsible people alike. Yeah, we had to create safe spaces for leaders. Why? Because where is a safe space for a leader? You go ahead and tell us, right? The leader has a different ebonics. The leader has a different story. Therefore, the leader has different medicine. Okay? If you're a responsible individual, you a leader. Okay? If you somebody that's carrying your dreams, you a leader. If you somebody that decided to be the first millionaire in your family, you a leader. If you the person that decided to break generational curses, you are a leader. Welcome. You safe here. Okay? It's my pleasure. Nevertheless, join me every Wednesday at 9 p.m. It's a whole playlist for you to enjoy until then. Nevertheless, let's get rich.